It's the Shitcase cinema.
No one was immune to the effects of the virus.
Hello, yes, I'm still here. I just needed a little bit of time out after the 11th anniversary video back in February to go ninja training, obviously, and try and find Susan again.
We're looking for her! Susan!
But it's okay because I'm back. Now, while I was away, I stumbled across an awesome movie to review. Think Steven Seagal mixed with vampires. It's pretty mental, yeah? Oh yeah. It's also pretty shit. Surprised? Going into this, I knew it would be low budget and probably pretty poor, but no matter how low you set your expectations, this film will manage to stoop way lower and kick you in the balls for being so stupidly optimistic. I mean, as far as Seagal's straight-to-DVD movies go, the artwork caught my attention and I thought, wow, Sensei Seagal in a horror movie, bring it on. 2 points. It's barely a Steven Seagal movie, and it's barely a horror film. So here we go, a virus has spread, making people attack others in the search for blood. It's kind of like 28 Days Later, I suppose. Now the film opens where we meet a bunch of boring and stock characters breaking their way into a hospital to find some supplies, and they stumble across 2 more people. And from this point on, they spend the entire film in the so-called hospital, which means walking down the same endless corridors, but it's okay, because it gets broken up every now and then with Steven Seagal and his crew walking around in the dark. One of his crew is apparently the cousin of The Rock. Wow. Funny thing is, Seagal keeps sending him to go clear places out on his own, which he does, but what does Seagal do during this time? We never find out. Until the next time he's on screen, and guess what? More walking along for about 10 seconds of screen time. Oh yeah. It's obvious that he filmed his scenes in probably 2 days at max, and they just inserted his footage throughout the film to make it look like he's in there more than he actually is. Now, let's see what riveting things the group of heroes are saying.
We need to reach the sub-level. There's a security door that's the only safe way out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Only way out. So what if the security door closes? Just go out through the window that these guys came in and bingo, you're outside. So anyway, they just plod on to find a way out.
You're welcome to come with us.
Thanks.
Oscar-worthy performances.
Taggart, you clear that area. Make a clean sweep.
Hang on, what's Seagal on about? Well, he's called Taggart, isn't he? I mean, the DVD says he is, and he says it twice, so it must be a bona fide fact. It's written down, so it must be true, yeah? Wrong. His name is Tao. That just sums up Seagal's shitty straight-to-DVD movies. No effort is put in whatsoever. But when the fucking synopsis on the DVD gets his goddamn name wrong, you know it's beyond bullshit. Anyway, Taggart, this guy, not Sensei, kills a lot of vampires. It's amazing. You know what really pisses me off these days? Seeing girls posing all the time in front of mirrors doing up their hair or fish pouting like morons for a photo, staring at themselves in vanity. But you know what they do in this film? They stare at themselves in mirrors, oh yeah, while filing their teeth. So do they want to be like vampires? It's really unclear what they are throughout the film. I mean, what kind of vampires are these anyway? Ah, well, they're not vampires. The DVD claims they are on no less than 3 occasions, but the movie opens up with a description of the word infection. So they're just people infected with something that we don't ever find out about. Priceless. They're almost like zombies in their behaviour, but whatever, it really doesn't matter what we call them, so I'm just going to call them random goons. Although this guy says that they're just diseased.
Just because they were grown-ups didn't mean that they could protect me from monsters or demons or whatever.
They're not monsters or demons. They're just diseased.
Okay, Mr. Man, you say it, I'll believe it. Actually, I've just remembered a film that I reviewed a few years ago called The Dead Undead, and that had vampires and zombies in it. And they came up with the greatest name ever for them.
They're both. We call them ZVs.
Zombie vampires.
Why can't this film be creative like that instead of confusing us saying they're vampires, or they're zombies, or they're infected, or they're mutants, or my favourite one, the Things?
What if there's one of those things there?
I mean, we as an audience are stupid because at the start of the film, we get a definition of the word infect. So if we're stupid and get confused by the word infect, we're going to get confused by the rest of the film. So stop confusing us with different names and terms for the fucking zombies or vampires or mutants or whatever the hell they're called. Man alive. For the most part, they look terrible and kind of sum up the budget on display, which is very minimal at best, and I imagine that Seagal probably took most of that in his paycheck and ran down to the closest fast food place. It won't have run, but you know. Guess what happens with Seagal next? Short walking scene before saying,
Taggart, you clear that area. Make a clean sweep.
does Seagal do any fighting in this film? Well, yeah, eventually, and it's totally worth it. So, Taggart kills more vampires. It's amazing. Guess who pops up sitting around at a desk or standing around doing nothing all the time? Only Lyndon Ashby. Who? You know, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. Now he tells Taggart to get out of Zone 7 because the one and only Keith David has a cameo in this and he wants to blow up the entire area. If you were wondering, Seagal's team of hunters are getting some kind of help from Johnny Cage and clearing the streets of the vampires themselves. It's a load of baloney. Low budget films have the best storylines, don't you think? I mean, as time plods on, I could feel my IQ level dropping just watching this dirge, and you have to be pretty close to brain dead to find any level of enjoyment in this film. How big is this hospital? I mean, it's clearly not that big because all they seem to do is walk down the same bloody corridor they've walked down about 50 times already. And why don't they just find a room and smash open a window if they want to escape? One woman even says that at one point.
We could take a chance. We could break a window or something to the outside.
But nobody even acknowledges their idea. It's mental. Is that Seagal running? Quick, quick, get to the local burger joint before it closes. And I love Seagal's films despite his lack of effort, the endless flaws and overall shoddy filmmaking qualities. I personally see them as comedies more than anything. Now here's my top 5 random bullshit moments. Number 1, these two bicker over saying the Lord's name in vain.
Jesus.
Amelia,
It freaks me out, okay?
it's just that.
Stop it, Dylan. Whether we take the Lord's name in vain doesn't mean a goddamn thing anymore.
Under the thumb there, boy. Number 2.
We're gonna make it to that security door, every single one of us. Even if it kills us.
That is the worst speech ever and it makes no sense. Number 3. Listen to what this bozo says.
You know, some of the wounded were immune.
Yet the opening voiceover tells us that no one was immune. You goon! Number 4. Said goon has his own take on the vampires.
And everybody thinks that they're vampires. But they're not. They're mutants.
Mutants? You anus! Number 5. Said anus proves his stupidity.
What is that?
I'll check it out.
You what? You walk into a morgue and you see a body and then... what's the point? Just forget about it. Joke's on me though because it's not even a body.
That would have been funny if it wasn't so goddamn scary.
Pointless fact here for you. The exterior shots of the hospital were actually lifted from a crappy Stephen King TV series called Kingdom Hospital years ago. Now I remember watching the first episode of that when it came out, recall an anteater, and that's it because thanks to Against the Dark I've lost half of my memory. Fuck you! You want to see how the filmmakers make use of Steven Seagal? Here's a clip in full.
Alright, we gotta get going now.
And bam! I'm back with the wooden characters that we don't care about. Thankfully, I can go BAM! And now back to Seagal. What an entrance. So yeah, he's somehow managed to get inside the hospital now and he's strolling around. Here he is slicing and dicing. It just feels like a huge letdown. You really hope that things improve, but unfortunately they don't. I mean, they get more unintentionally funnier, but that's beside the point. Bosh! Sensei beating up a vampire, oh yeah. So he does a bit of action and teams up with the boring crew and they all walk around together trying to find a way out, but why not just go back the way you all came?
Who are you?
My name is Tao.
Wow, dramatic beyond words. Oh, Sensei, we're not worthy. And when he says it, the rocking music's there. It's just like, yeah, Steven Seagal, man. With a sword. Good. Well, there's no backstory to his character, so it's not really good, is it? He just walks around just with his sword and his ponytail. So it's actually anything but good. So it's not like, yeah man, Steven Seagal. It's just, oh for fuck's sake, Steven Seagal. Anyway. So much for being called Taggart though, you shitty DVD. This woman says,
Come on. I know a shortcut.
because she's been dwelling in the hospital for a few weeks to rest up and was a student intern before shit hit the fan. So why doesn't she know a single way out? Man alive, words just fail me sometimes.
Who the fuck are you and what do you want?
I'm the motherfucker that's gonna do you what
what you've been doing to everybody else.
Now, Seagal kills some mad doctor with a shotgun and takes on a few more vampires, and it's time to get a move on and stop walking around because the stock footage of planes clearly lifted from another movie are on their way to bomb the area. Now, they get stuck in a lift. The goon says,
I'm immune, remember?
what? Since when? I don't remember, but who honestly cares? Guess what? He dies. I love this scene. They're still walking around slowly and they think they see an escape. Now, one of the goons goes to check it out, but I just love her reaction. It's like the actress has totally given up and is just banging her head against the wall in frustration. But can you honestly blame her? Anyway, they find an exit and run through it. The vampires, zombies, infected or mutant, try to get out and the army blow the shit out of the area. They survive, oh yeah. Now, Keith David congratulates his men for doing what? Not convincing you to blow up the survivors. You goon! And Johnny Cage just looks depressed, probably because he used to be the man and now appears in garbage like this. But now a gang of heroes drive away, nice reflection of the camera there, and it ends up with, yep, you guessed it, a walking shot of Seagal and Taggart. Remember, he's Taggart, not Seagal. Shitty line DVD taking us for a mug. Now, the best way to sum up Against the Dark is to ask yourself one thing. Do you like to watch never-ending shots of people walking along slowly in the same areas? If so, then you're onto a winner. If not, you might as well find somebody to hit you in the balls because it'll be a lot more bearable than this puddle of rat piss. If they'd made Lyndon Ashby the lead role, put in some techno music as he fights a la Mortal Kombat, then this would have been entertaining. Instead, we get this shit. Still, walking's good for your health, so I guess it could inspire people to get fit. Didn't work for Seagal because he gets fatter with every movie, but, you know, whatever. Sorry, Sensei. Now, I know that a lot of people dislike Steven Seagal's later career movies because they just don't kick as much ass as his early ones do. And yeah, fair enough, they do suck. But if you give Against the Dark a chance to stand on its own strengths and merits, then it still sucks. No, you know what? This is straight up bullshit. It is one of the worst Steven Seagal movies ever, and I should know because I own most of them because they amuse me so, but Christ on a stick. I know a man's got to eat, and Seagal clearly likes to eat, but come on, you've got to have better standards than this, Seagal. Sensei, you should be ashamed because you didn't give a flying fuck about making this movie, and nor did anyone else. It's coma-inducing at points, hilarious at others, but perplexing most of the time. It's a shambles and has no reason to exist other than to see an overweight Steven Seagal walking around with his ponytail and a sword. It's a convoluted mess that you're not engaged with at all unless you've snorted some mad shit, in which case you'll be buzzing off this. 2 out of 10.